السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته يا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا إيمانا وهدى وصلاحا يا رب العالمين. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل يا رب العالمين. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, today we will be dealing with a very important topic, which is zakat. Yes, this topic is zakat, which is actually the third pillar of Islam. Zakat is the third pillar of Islam. So in the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Bunya al-Islamu ala khams." Islam is built on 5 pillars, right? One of these pillars is a zakah, which is to spend or to take out some of your money and give it to people who deserve it. If you are a rich person, or if you're a rich person, right? And inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will do the ahkam of zakah, the rulings on zakah. Firstly, zakat is wajib. It is obligatory, it's compulsory in Islam. It is fard, right? Anybody who denies that it is fard, then they become a kafir. So that's an important point about zakah. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will be talking about zakat in this class and the class tomorrow. So with that, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will finish most of the important topics about zakat. So zakat is compulsory on every Muslim that is free, which means he's not a slave, and he's mukallaf. Mukallaf is a person who is mature and sane. And then there's 2 more conditions to zakat, which is milk al-nisab and hawalan al-hawl. Milk al-nisab, which is that you must own or possess an amount of wealth that would make zakat wajib upon you, right? You must possess an amount of wealth that would make zakat wajib upon you. Other than that, zakat would not be wajib, right? If you don't possess the amount of wealth. So that is an nisab. And the hawalan al-hawl means that it must be with you for over a year plus, right? Or a year. So if it is with you for a year, then you need to give the zakat on it. And the year that is meant here is the Islamic, the year in the Islamic calendar, which starts with Muharram and ends with Dhul Hijj. So the difference between that year or this year and the years or the solar year is approximately 11 days. So it's 11 days shorter than the solar year. So it's approximately 354 days. Right. approximately 354 days. So, and a lot of people, they give their zakat in Ramadan. So that's why this topic is so important, so that we don't make any mistakes uh, in our zakat, inshallah. Then the zakat, the amount of zakat that you have to give is not necessarily a specific percentage. A lot of people think that the amount of zakat you have to give is 2.5%, and that's not the case in every single situation. Rather, zakat is dependent on the wealth that you have. So you have wealth that is cattle, like sheep, goats, cows, camels. All right. The amount that you have to give there is different than the amount you have to give in gold, silver, and regular money and business. And also well, the another type of wealth that you have to give zakat on is the wealth that grows from the earth, al-kharij min al-ard, which is like rice, barley, wheat, right? Even not grapes, but raisin, dates, all of these things that grow from the earth, you have to give zakat on them. We're going to get into the details, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe in the class tomorrow for this one. But the first two, inshallah, we're going to try to wrap it up today, inshallah, in this class, which is the zakat for the bahimat al-an'am, which is the cattle like sheep, goat, cows, and camels. So as for the nisab, the amount, you must have an amount of these cattle before the zakat becomes wajib. All right. As for sheep and goat have the same ruling. There's no zakat until it reach 40. So 39 sheep or 39 goat or 39 sheep and goat together, no zakat you have to pay. But the minute it reach 40, if it's with you for a year, then you have to pay the zakat with a condition. The condition is that it is sa'ima, that this sheep or goat is sa'ima, which means that it must be grazing. It's not like you are buying grass to feed it. It is great. The sheep or goat is grazing, and just like that for the cows and the camels, the same ruling. So in livestock, there's an important condition, which is grazing. It must like go out and eat by itself. But if you are cutting grass and bring it, or buying grass to feed it, or other things to feed it, well then you don't have to pay zakat, even if you have more than 40. Right? So in 40 sheep or goats, the zakat that you have to give is 1 out of the 40. 1 sheep out of 40 is a zakat for 40. And then that continues like that until 120. So if you have 120 sheep or goat, then only 1 sheep you have to give for zakat. Only 1 sheep you have to give for zakat. But from 121 to 200, then you have to give 2 sheep. You have to give 2 sheep or 2 goat, right? And then after that, from 201 to 399, you have to give 3 sheep. 3 sheep or 3 goats. All right? From 201 to 399, 3 sheep. And after that, every 100, you just give 1 sheep. So you have 1,000 sheep right, you give 10. If you have 1,050, you still give 10. 1,099, you still give 10. At 1,100, 11. So from 1 to 99, after every 100, doesn't make any difference. That's for sheep and goat. And as for cow, it's a bit easier, which is less than 30, you don't have to give zakat. For more than 30, then, or 30 and more, you have to give zakat. And the zakat for 30 is tabi'un or tabi'ah. Tabi'un or tabi'ah is a cow that is 1 year old, right? Right, that's the name, the tabi'ah. So for cows, we said in 30 cows plus, you must give 1 cow for zakat, which is 1 year old. And if it reaches 40, from 30 to 39 is the same thing. And from 40 to 59, from 40 to 59 is musin or musinna, which is a cow that reached 2 years, right? A cow that reached 2 years, male or female. And then after that, every 30, you give a tabi', and every 40, you give a musinna. So if you have 70 cows, if you have 60, you give 2 tabi' or tabi'ah, right? Which is 1 year old. 70, 1 year old and 1 2 year old. 80, 2 years old. 90, 3 1 year old. And like that, every 10, it changes, right? In cows, you could give male or female, but sheep, what is mentioned in the hadith is a female. When you give the zakat, it's shat, it's female, right? Then we have for the camel, the zakat is a bit different, which is 4 camel or less, no zakat. 5 camel to 9, from 5 to 9, you have to give 1 sheep. From 10 to 14, 2 sheep. From 15 to 19, 3. From 20 to 25, 4 sheep. From 20 to 24, sorry, 4 sheep. And from 25 to 35, 1 bint makhal, which is a camel, a female camel that is 1 year old. From 25 to 35. And from 36 to 45, a female camel that is 2 years old. And from 46 to 60, a female camel or a she camel, 3 years old. And from 61 to 75 camels, you have to give a she camel that is 4 years old. Then from 76 to 90, you give 2 she camel, 2 year old, sorry. 2 year old she camel. And from 91 to 120, 2 3 year old she camel. And then after that, like 120, you give 2 3 year old she camel. Then 125, the 5 extra, you start back from the beginning. 5 sheep, then 10, 2 sheep, 15, 3 sheep, 20, 4 sheep. 25, you give a small she camel, which is 1 year old with those 2. And then when you reach to 150, you start back again to 200, just like how you start back after 120. And then after 200, you start back to 250, and then from 250 you start back to 300, and so on. Right? That's for the camels. I know there's maybe not you guys don't maybe don't have camels, but just to go through it quickly, it's just important knowledge, you know. Then we have zakat and naqdain. Zakat and naqdain, which is the zakat for gold and silver, and money is going to come under that, and also urud al-tijara, which is businesses, right? As for gold and silver, the gold has an nisab and the silver has an nisab. So this the nisab for the gold is 20 dinar. There's difference of opinion how much is a dinar, right? Is it 5 grams? 1 dinar is 5 grams of gold, or is it 4.25 grams of gold, or is it less than that? That is 3.6 gram of gold, right? But let's say it's 5 grams of gold is 1 dinar. 20 dinar is going to be 100 grams of gold. So 100 grams of gold, you must give zakat if you have more than that. The least that some of scholars calculated it to be is 72 grams of gold. So anybody have more than 72 grams of gold should give zakat. But we're not saying it's wajib upon them, but it's better to come out of the khilaf, right? To come out of the difference of opinion. But if you have 100 grams of gold and more, then you have to give zakat on it. But with a condition, that is hawalan al-hawl, which is that a whole year must pass for it to be obligatory to give zakat on it. The amount that you have to give is rubu' al-ushur, which is a quarter of a tenth, which is 1/40. So every $40 or every $40,000, you give $1,000, right? I don't know if $40,000 gonna meet the nisab in the different currencies, depends, right? But or every 40 in the 100 grams of gold, right, you have to give 2.5 grams of gold, which is 2.5%. All right, and just like that is silver. Silver is 2.5% also, but silver, the nisab for silver is different, which is 200 dirham, right? And 200 dirham is equivalent to approximately 700 grams of gold. With the same calculation that we mentioned, 700 grams of gold is the most, and the least gonna be approximately 400 grams of gold, right? What's the calculation? Anyhow, I can maybe check it back inshallah later on. But some of the scholars, they hold the opinion of 595 grams of gold, and some of them hold 700 grams of gold. Not gold, sorry, silver. For silver, they hold it is the opinion is 700 grams of silver, and some of them 595. And there's a third opinion that is less than that. I can't remember the exact calculation. Anyhow, this amount of silver, if you have it, then you have to give rubu' al-ushur, which is 1/40, right? It's simple. You just divide the amount of silver by 40, and you get the amount that you have to give for zakat, right? So like 700 grams, you divide it by 40, you're gonna get about 18.5 grams of gold, I think. Not gold, silver. I mixed up between the silver and the gold. The gold is 100 grams in nisab, The silver is 700 grams. So 100 grams for gold and 700 grams for silver, right? And as for zakatul urud, which is business, is going to be the same. If you have the equivalent amount of money in gold or silver, all right, and money goes the same thing, the equivalent to gold or silver. But the scholars mention that you work with the less, what is more beneficial for the poor. So what is going to be more beneficial for the poor right now is, in our time, is silver. So we calculate it with silver, inshallah. And with this, the time finished for the class. So we will open for question and answer if anyone has question and answer. And we will finish our class. Inshallah, tomorrow we will complete urud. We have to do zakat upon urud, which is business, and zakat on things that you plant, like rice and wheat and so on, right? So we have these two zakat we have to do tomorrow, inshallah, in the class. And also we will be dealing with who are entitled to take zakat, right? There are 8 different types of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, and what is exactly the meaning of these 8, and so on, inshallah. So if anyone has any question, they are free to ask, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I don't know if you could do a printout for us, type it out with the amount of gold and silver, because the class is so fast, it's hard for write it and memorize it so quick. So if you could type it out and post it on the group, then inshallah it would be real beneficial. So if the brother for asks me a question, then I could be able to explain, inshallah. And if you could explain to our country what is the full nisab we have to have in gold, silver, and cash. And one of the brothers say if you could give a criteria, a description of the individual who have to receive the zakat, inshallah.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, inshallah, in the class. Who are entitled to receive zakat, inshallah. But regards to the printout, inshallah, I'm gonna do it, inshallah, for you guys, inshallah, no problem. Any other questions?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I noticed you mentioned a few things that zakat has been given. What about these new stuff that is being recorded as valuables, like pearls, diamond, these other stuff that people, hold as high valuable stuff? Hey.
Pearls and diamonds and so on, they don't have any zakat in it, except in if you're doing this as a business. Like if you have like diamond maybe on a ring or something like that, or diamonds, you have diamonds like designed, like a woman designing herself with a lot of diamonds on her chain or something like that, then on her bags, her purse, and so on, then there's no zakat for that. But if the diamond is like you're doing a business with it, well, then you have to see if the business reaches the nisab or not. All right. Yes. Just now, let's just take a question from the chat. Should a person who is in heavy debt yet, if the debt is more than the amount of money that you have in your hand, well, then you don't have to pay zakat. Or it make the money that you, if the debt gonna make the money that you have in your hand less than the nisab, then you don't have to pay zakat. Should zakat be given for the car that we are using? No. Even if it's luxurious, no. Zakat, if you
Sound
are,
like we just hold it 2 minutes for us. Can't you
huh?
just hold it 2 minutes? The Azan is calling, because we wouldn't hear.
No problem.
Can you hold it 2 minutes for us with the answer?
No problem. I'm going to answer just now, inshallah. Just tell me when it's suitable, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, brother. To continue answering, inshallah.
Okay. So the questions, you have a question here. Should a person who have heavy debt yet give zakah? Well, we mentioned that the person who have debt, if the debt, let's say, let's just give an example that 1,000, let's say, okay, 100 gram of gold, right? You're gonna give the example of gold, right? 100 gram of gold, you have to give zakat on it. You have maybe 300 gram of gold, right? 300 grams. So you're supposed to give zakat on it. But the debt that you have is 220 grams of, or 250 grams of gold, right? That's the debt that you have. Then the actual amount of money that is in your hand is 50 grams of gold. That's the actual wealth that is in your hand. So you don't have to give zakat on it. However, if you have debt maybe like 150 gram of gold and you have in your hand 300 gram of gold, well then 150 gram you put it aside, and the next 150 gram you give zakat on it, right? And that it is the same if the debt is urgent or it doesn't have a deadline.
Can you please go over the ruling concerning the vehicle luxury or not, inshallah, if you have to pay?
Yes. As for vehicles, cars, houses, if a person has like 3 or 4 or 5 houses, he lives in all of these houses. They are not business, right? But sometimes, you know, he just live here and he live there, and maybe he has a playground for himself, right? There's no zakat on these things because all of these things he's using them. And just like that, if he has like maybe 10 cars, he's using these cars, right? Is not maybe auto sale he has, and he used it because, you know, that's part of the business. He use it in convenience. Well, then on the auto sale, then he have to give zakat, right? But if all of these cars he just buy it to use it, you know, sometime maybe buy maybe a BMW and then a next car, 5, 6 different, mashallah, nice cars. He's using these cars, he's not doing a business with it, then no zakat on it. I hope I answered the question. Any other questions?
So if the car is your personal car or a hire car that you work to earn the money from, do you have to pay if it's your personal luxury car or it is a hire car, hire vehicle that you're using to make your earning, inshallah?
No. There's a difference. If you hire a car to use it, you hire it for somebody else to use it, well, then you don't have to pay zakat on the car. The car is not yours. But if you are hiring it to other people, well, then you have to give zakat on the business. Like I have like maybe, let's say I have 10 cars. People come to hire the cars from me, right? the business itself, which has an amount of money that I make every day, then if it comes up at the end of the year that I have more than insab, then I have to give zakat on that, inshallah. But if you are buying and selling the cars, then the
we
price of
missed
the
it
car,
there. We missed it that we missed it that the audio stick on the higher car parts. You could please go it over one more time.
okay. A person who has cars, right? Or he has cars. Let's say 10 cars. He hired these cars. The amount of money he make out of it.
Sorry for interrupt. Sorry for interrupt. The car that I have is my personal car. I am working higher with it, right? So I want to know. I work in taxi, so I want to know if it is wajib upon me who earning my living on this car and making my saving from it.
No. The car, you don't have to give zakat on the car. You have to give zakat on the money that you make from the car if it reaches in nisab. If it doesn't reach in nisab, you don't have to give zakat on it. So if you are hiring the car, you work in taxi, right? And you made, let's say, X amount of money. Let's say 100,000 Guyana dollar. 100,000 Guyana dollar. Is the zakat wajib in that or not? If zakat is wajib on it, well, then you have to give zakat. If not, you don't have to give zakat. You don't have to give zakat on the car itself, but on the money that you make from the car.
Jazakallah khair. No, maybe tomorrow, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for the effort that you make to learn us concern our deen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and your family with Jannatul Firdaus and save all of us from the punishment of the grave, the trial and the tribulation of the day of judgment. Ameen.
Ameen.
So we will take a leave, and we will take a leave, inshallah. It's time for our salah, inshallah.
No problem. No problem. And inshallah, tomorrow we'll continue.
Inshallah.
Yeah. If anybody else has any other question, no problem. You can take it quickly.
Hey, tomorrow क्या बात है इंशाल्लाह इसलिए ले ला ज़कात सिंह का भी बारे में आपकी बहुत मेमोरी
Okay, with this, inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're going to conclude. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. And if there's any other question tomorrow, we're going to take it, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You have a question, Brother Abdulaziz? Okay, he left.